Maada Bio, the ECOWAS president right now, is in a serious trouble after he was found in a drug scandal issue. This is someone that has been fighting Ibrahim Traoré. Breaking news is that Julius Maada Bio, the president of Sierra Leone, has been found in a serious drug scandal involving his whole family. That is something that is happening in West Africa.
Today we bring you a breaking development from Sierra Leone that is rapidly making waves across West Africa and beyond. The president of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Bio, currently serving as chair of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, is now at the center of a growing scandal involving an alleged drug trafficking network with potential links to his own family. Sources from within Sierra Leone's law enforcement agencies have revealed that an ongoing criminal investigation into narcotics trafficking has led to the alleged involvement of the president's son-in-law. According to preliminary reports, the son-in-law, married to President Bio's daughter, has been identified as a person of interest in a network believed to be involved in the movement and distribution of illegal drugs within Sierra Leone and possibly beyond its borders. Although President Bio himself has not been directly accused or named in any legal filings at this stage, the fact that the accused individual is part of the president's close family circle has cast a significant shadow over his leadership. The implications of such a development are far-reaching, not only for the people of Sierra Leone, but for the political future of ECOWAS as a regional body. This news has triggered swift public reaction. In the streets of Freetown, citizens have expressed outrage, frustration, and deep disappointment. Many are now calling for an independent and transparent investigation into the matter, emphasizing that no one should be above the law, regardless of political office or family status. Local civil society groups and opposition parties have already issued statements urging for accountability and transparency. A number of protesters gathered outside government buildings in Freetown earlier today, holding placards that read, "Justice for the People" and "No to Elite Impunity." The anger expressed by Sierra Leoneans is not new. For years, the country has faced chronic challenges ranging from high youth unemployment and poor infrastructure to rising costs of living and perceived corruption within government ranks. This latest development has only intensified public sentiment that the current leadership is out of touch with the struggles of ordinary citizens. According to unconfirmed intelligence, authorities launched the investigation several months ago after receiving tips about suspicious financial movements and unusual travel activity connected to a group of individuals operating in Sierra Leone's coastal region. After months of surveillance and coordination with international partners, investigators allegedly uncovered evidence pointing to the president's son-in-law as a key figure in the operation. This individual is suspected of facilitating cross-border drug transport using both maritime and land routes, in what officials say could be part of a larger transnational criminal network. No formal charges have been filed yet, and law enforcement agencies are urging the public to remain patient as the investigation unfolds. However, several reports indicate that arrests have been made and that evidence, including communications and financial transactions, is being reviewed to determine the full scope of the network. Observers both within and outside Sierra Leone have noted the significance of this case, particularly given President Bio's public persona as a reformist and advocate of democratic values. As chair of ECOWAS, he has often positioned himself as a regional voice for constitutional order, governance reforms, and the restoration of civilian rule in military-led states like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. His critics, however, now question the credibility of his leadership at a time when his own inner circle is facing serious criminal scrutiny. The political implications could be substantial. Already, opposition leaders in Sierra Leone have seized on the scandal to renew demands for institutional reform, including the strengthening of anti-corruption agencies and the establishment of an independent judiciary. One prominent opposition figure told the press today that those in power must not be allowed to protect their families at the expense of national interest. He further emphasized the need for swift parliamentary oversight into the matter. Meanwhile, regional analysts say this scandal comes at a moment when ECOWAS is under intense pressure to demonstrate moral and political legitimacy. The organization has faced criticism over its handling of recent coups in the Sahel and its sometimes inconsistent approach to enforcing democratic norms among member states. President Bio's leadership in ECOWAS has been particularly polarizing, especially given his vocal criticism of military-led governments such as that of Captain Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso. While some viewed his hardline position as a defense of constitutional order, others interpreted it as political overreach. Now, with this drug scandal erupting at home, critics say Bio must focus inward and address the governance issues in Sierra Leone before directing efforts at other countries. For many, this situation appears to be a moment of reckoning, not only for the president, but for the entire political class in Sierra Leone. Questions are now being asked about who else might be aware of or complicit in the alleged drug network, and whether the government will allow an independent investigation free of interference. There is also a growing concern about the potential international fallout. Sierra Leone has long received support from development partners and international law enforcement agencies for counter-narcotics initiatives. If the allegations are substantiated, there could be a significant erosion of trust between Sierra Leone and its international partners. The perception that political elites may be involved in or shielding those engaged in criminal enterprises could undermine future cooperation and funding. At this stage, no official comment has been made by the President or the Office of the Presidency. The silence has been noted by citizens and political observers alike, with many suggesting that a public statement is now overdue. Several lawmakers have called on the president to address the nation and clarify his position. Others argue that he should consider recusing himself from any direct involvement in the investigation to ensure its integrity. While this case is still evolving, what is clear is that it has struck a nerve. In cafes, markets, radio shows, and social media platforms across Sierra Leone, people are asking hard questions. How could this happen? What does it say about the state of our institutions? And most importantly, will there be justice? There is also the emotional weight of disappointment. Many Sierra Leoneans, particularly the youth, had high hopes when President Bio came to power, promising reform, accountability, and a new era of leadership. Now, that image is being challenged by allegations that suggest criminal activity may have reached the inner chambers of the presidential family. Across the region, leaders are watching closely. ECOWAS has not yet issued a statement, but insiders say a special meeting may be called if the situation escalates. The scandal has raised uncomfortable questions about how ECOWAS addresses leadership accountability within its own ranks. If one of its current leaders is now associated, directly or indirectly, with a criminal investigation, how will the organization preserve its moral standing? For now, the people of Sierra Leone await answers. Activists are already organizing petitions demanding access to investigation updates, while several journalists have called for greater press freedom to ensure that the unfolding scandal receives full public scrutiny. Independent media outlets have pledged to continue their coverage despite growing political pressure. This is a defining moment, not just for President Julius Maada Bio, but for Sierra Leone's democratic institutions. How the government handles this investigation will be a litmus test for its commitment to transparency, justice, and the rule of law. It will also shape public perception ahead of any future elections, especially as trust in leadership continues to waver. The days ahead will be critical. Will the authorities act impartially? Will the president respond directly? Will the institutions of Sierra Leone rise to the occasion? Or will political influence cloud the pursuit of truth? Voice of Africa will continue to monitor this story closely and bring you accurate, verified updates as more information becomes available. We remain committed to holding power to account, amplifying the voices of ordinary citizens, and ensuring that the truth is not buried. To our loyal viewers and subscribers, thank you for standing with us. Your engagement, your super thanks, and your ongoing support are what allow us to continue producing truthful, bold African journalism. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and enable notifications so you never miss a critical update. Africa is watching, Sierra Leone is waiting, and the truth, no matter how long it takes, always finds its way. Until next time, this is Voice of Africa, bringing you the stories that matter. Stay informed, stay empowered, and most importantly, stay united.